Good evening once again. My name is SmartModium and I welcome you all back to the YouTube channel. Now I want us to continue with the tutorial session we started, and this will be our fifth question on tiny moment diagrams and then flywheels. So today the question here also reads: torque and angular speed data over one cycle for a shaft carrying a flywheel are shown. Find the polar moment of inertia of the flywheel. This is a very simple problem. Now we have that is the angular speed data. That is the angular speed data. This particular point shows the um, maximum speed, and this point shows the minimum speed for the flywheel, or if I should say for the crankshaft of that particular engine. Now, this is the turning moment diagram of the engine, and we have to find the polar moment of inertia for such an engine. Now, this is also a simple problem. What do we need to do? We just have to find the energy fluctuation and know how to link it with the polar moment of inertia. So now we weren't given the speed fluctuation, so we can use this particular formula. If you guys remember, half I bracket open omega max squared minus omega min squared. And since we have omega max and min, we can use this particular relation. We just need to find the energy fluctuation, and that can be found from this graph. Now, let us find it. Now, let the energy at O be E. So energy at O be equal to E. If the energy at O is E, then what will be the energy here? Let's say the energy at this point, let me name it, say A. What will be the energy now? Now you can clearly see from this point to this point, there was no energy, produced by the engine, nor there was no energy used by the engine to work against the external load. So the energy at A will be the same as the energy at O. So the energy at A will also be E. That is it. Now, what will be the energy at B? The energy at B is simple. Now, the energy at B will be the energy at A plus this fluctuation, and the fluctuation is positive. So you can clearly see. So it will be energy at B is equal to energy at A, which is E, plus the fluctuation. Now we need to just calculate the area, which represents the energy produced by the engine. So what will be the area? This particular area will be, it looks like a rectangle, so it will just be the length multiplied by the width. Now what is the dimension of the length along the crank angle? That will be pi minus half pi to get a dimension here. So the dimension here is half pi, and that's along the width, that along the torque axis is 3000, because it will be 3000 minus 0, and that is basically 3000. Simple. So that will be the area. So the area is half pi multiplied by 3000. So we are going to end up getting the energy at B being E plus 1500 pi. That is it. Now what will be the energy at C? The energy at C will be what? Now this particular energy fluctuation is a negative energy fluctuation. So that one is also simple to find. That is the energy at B minus this particular area. That was the energy used by the engine to work against the external load. Right? So it will be energy at B, which we know, which is E plus 1500 pi minus that area. Now what will that area be? That area will be, that is 0 minus this particular value, minus negative 1500, to get the dimension along the torque axis, which is basically the width of this rectangle. Now the length of the rectangle will be, that is this particular interval, 2 pi minus pi. and that is just pi. So you are going to end up getting 1500 by pi, and that is 1000, and that is 1500 pi. So we end up getting E. That is it. And as I've already told you, all the time the energy here is the same as the energy at the beginning because we've ended the cycle. And this particular turning moment is for just a single cycle. Note that. So now what do we then have to do? And mind you, you don't even have to calculate the energy fluctuation. Now you can clearly see from this graph that this is the energy that has to be stored by the flywheel, right? So the energy fluctuation, the maximum energy fluctuation will just be this area. So you can do it like that and then get it, or go through the process to get the energy fluctuation, the maximum energy fluctuation, and that will be E max minus E minimum. Now from the data we've penned down, what is the maximum energy? So the maximum energy occurs at B, point B. The maximum energy is E plus 1500 pi, and the minimum energy occurs at A or C. So we are going to get E plus 1500 minus E. I will end up getting, sorry, 1500 pi minus E. I will end up getting 1500 pi. That is the maximum energy fluctuation. So from here, we can go ahead to find the moment of inertia. Now we know maximum energy fluctuation is equal to half time the polar moment of inertia multiplied by angular velocity max minus angular velocity min squared. Yeah, so to get my I, it is just 2 times the energy fluctuation divided by omega max squared minus omega min squared. That is all. Now we know the maximum energy fluctuation, which is 1500 and pi, and add a new units, Newton meter. So we can just substitute that in there. So 1500 pi divided by, now what was our maximum speed from the graph? Our maximum speed recorded during the cycle was 20 radian per second, and the minimum was 10. So we can just substitute them in there. So I have 20 squared minus 10 squared, and what do we get? We end up getting to 1.41 kilogram meter squared. That is it. So I'll end the video here and continue in the next tutorial video. Have a wonderful evening.